1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Advances in medical technology have made it possible to save someone's life by a process of organ donation. However, the scarcity of available organs is bringing the beneficial process down. By becoming an organ donor, people engage in improving someone else's life at no cost. Although the physical question of religious and moral cost comes into effect, virtually there is no physical cost of becoming an organ donor. Organ donation should be seen as the gift of life. At this moment in the U.S., there are 79,000 U.S. patients on the transplant list. 3,000 a month are added to this total. Not a lot you may say when the population is close to 300 million, but now add this 20 to 30 family and friends to each of those patients, and the number increases vastly. One of the people on the waiting list for an organ transplant might be someone you know. People around the world, but also right here in the U.S., need organ transplants and need help. The problem is that there is a lack of organs and organ donors who make transplantation possible. A new name is added to the national waiting list every 16 minutes. You can choose to donate any needed organs, or you can specify which organs or tissues you wish to donate. Half of the 79,000 Americans on the national transplant waiting list will die before they get a transplant. Americans bury or cremate 20,000 transplantable organs every year. Over 6,000 of our neighbors suffer and die needlessly as a result. Every year, the lives of thousands of people are saved or transformed through organ transplantation. Each organ has its own waiting list, but the lists share a common characteristic. There are more organs needed than are available. However, there have been 18,659 transplants as of November 28 this year, and only 9,490 donors. After a transplant of a vital organ, the average survival rate is over 80%. This is a massive increase from the 20% that would live without surgery. One of the questions that always arises is, if I'm in an accident and the hospital knows that I'm a donor, will the doctors actually try to save my life? This is not true. The fact is that organ and tissue recovery only starts after all life-saving efforts have been attempted. According to organdonor.gov, the organs of the body that can be transplanted at this time are kidneys, heart, lungs, liver, pancreas, and the intestines. Kidney/pancreas transplants, heart and lung transplants, and other combined organ transplants are also performed. Organs cannot be stored and must be used within hours of removing them from the donor's body. Most donated organs are from people who have died, but our living individual can donate a kidney, part of the pancreas, part of a lung, part of the liver, or part of the intestine. Also, tissues such as corneas, the middle ear, skin, heart valves, bone, veins, cartilage, tendons, and ligaments can be stored in tissue banks and used to restore sight, cover burns, repair hearts, replace veins, and mend damaged connective tissue and cartilage in recipients. Organ and tissue transplantation is one of this century's medical triumphs. It has become a routine practice that can dramatically improve and save the lives of those suffering from vital organ failure, or those suffering from bone defects, burns, and blindness. Since the first successful transplant of a human heart over 40 years ago, the demand for organs has greatly exceeded the supply. About 79,000 Americans are awaiting transplantation, but fewer than half will get them. One of the weak links is the large and growing gap between the number of people seeking transplant and the number of people donating. Of those 79,000 patients, over 10% of those children are under 18 years of age. So how can you help? All you have to do is get in touch with your local doctor and he will tell you all you need to know. You fill out one form and receive a card. It is really that easy. Then once you have passed away in many years to come, your organs will be removed and will give somebody else the chance of life. Some people worry, will they be left open after the surgery as they are already dead, or will they still be able to have an open casket funeral? The answer to this is simple. You will be treated with the utmost respect in the surgery, and the same procedures apply to the body as a living body. And yes, you will be able to have an open casket funeral if you wish. Blood and platelets formed by the body go through a life cycle and are continuously replaced throughout life. This means that you can donate blood and platelets more than once. It is safe to donate blood every 56 days and platelets twice in 1 week up to 24 times a year. Blood is stored in a blood bank according to type A, B, AB, or O, and RH factor, positive or negative. Blood can be used whole or separated into packed red cells, plasma, and platelets, all of which have different life-saving uses. It takes only about 10 minutes to collect a unit of blood, 1 pint, although the testing and screening process means that you'll be at the donation center close to an hour. Platelets are tiny cell fragments that circulate throughout the blood and aid in blood clotting. Platelets can be donated without donating blood. When a specific patient needs platelets but does not need blood, a matching donator is found and platelets are separated from the rest of the blood, which is then returned to the donor. The donor's body will replace the missing platelets within a few hours. Death is a sad and final affair, especially through accidental or terminal illness. By becoming an organ donor, you can continue living through someone else. You can save someone else's life after you are through with your own. When you consider becoming an organ donor, consider how much life your death could bring to people in need.